Alright, hello, Company of Heroes community. This is Gabe. I love Company of Heroes. I play it a lot. I really like RTS games. Okay, I am right now playing as the Yellow Americans, and Carl's the Blue Americans. He's my friend. Right now, the cool thing about this was we were communicating through Skype, which all of you are familiar with, I hope. Skype is a online telephone service. And we were communicating through headsets. This is really helpful. Live communication in a game like Company of Heroes is such an advantage. Alright, this is an auto match on the map Duclair, a user-made map. Victory point control, 5 to 500 points. This was random starting location and standard resources. This was an auto match. Alright. Me and Carl were not very familiar with Duclair when we came into this. We were kind of afraid. We were actually pretty convinced we were going to lose. But it turns out that the people we were playing were not very good. Now I know that there are a lot of people who are really good at this game out there, and this video is not for them. We as a matter of fact, we are not like those kind of people. I mean, we're just trying to help beginners because we really like RTSs, and we think we have some cool things to say about this game, but pros, we're not trying to help you because you guys don't need help from us, but we're just trying to help people get a good understanding of the game, just the game as a whole, not the factions or this or that, just the game. All right, so my friend Carl is gonna say a little about how we start out usually and how me and him operate as dual Americans.
Okay, so as dual Americans, Gabe and I usually like to do sort of like a split start. Gabe usually builds a barracks first, and basically what Gabe is doing, he's built an engineer, a second engineer. Well, he has his starting engineer, of course. He builds a second engineer, builds his barracks fast, and starts churning out riflemen. Riflemen have a incredibly fast capture rate. They are one of the fastest capturing infantry in the game. Basically, if you start out with a lot of riflemen, you can capture most of the map before the enemy does. That means you're getting some early resource advantage, and yeah, it allows you to lets you secure most of the victory points on the map first by sort of giving you a first chance to build defenses and stuff. As you can see, though, this Panzer Elite player, engineers, just as a little fact, they're very good against Panzer Elite squads in general. They pierce their armor very effectively. But he's upgraded his Panzer Elite, so it looks like, with incendiary grenades, which do a little number on my engineers. Okay, so basically, Gabe's going to talk about his rifle micro here.
Alright, so microing, if you don't know the term in RTSs, is referring to the micromanaging of a singular unit. So not like managing an entire group, which is usually the case. Managing a unit very microly. So right-clicking many times on different locations. So with riflemen, you want to get up really close to Kar 98s. I mean, Panzer Grenadiers, who have the weapon Kar 98s and G43s a lot of the time, because M1 Garands are close-range weapons, because they are semi-automatic rifles, and historically they were close-range weapons as well as long-range weapons. But Kar 98s will fare better at long ranges. So you want to get up close. You want to harass him and make him, have to get up and change the direction with his Kar 98s. This strategy is especially effective against Volks Grenadiers and Grenadier squads and Panzer Grenadiers. But if Panzer Grenadier squads outnumber you, they have a better high rate P. So don't just run in there with one rifleman squad.
And we had a little communication problem there, in case you didn't notice. If you look back, I came in with an MG into this building to help out Gabe defeat these Panzer Grenadiers, because they had beat up my engineers right before that. Gabe was coming in with a rifleman squad. We could have taken them. But basically, my MG, I didn't think this building had any windows. I mean, it has that one window right there, that building. So my MG sort of had a little trouble there getting its line of fire up with those infantry. So basically, Gabe lost a rifleman squad for nothing, but he came in with a second one. And by that time, I took my MG out of the building, realized that I had a window to fire out of, put it back in, and we just owned those Panzer Grenadiers. But here, yeah, that little rifleman rush didn't work out so well. They have a bunker with an MG in the middle of the map, just holding that victory point. And they have a second MG. And yeah, I'm just going to talk about the other half of our start right now. I usually sort of play the defensive role. It's good for at least one person to build a weapon support center, as the Americans, to start out, because getting early MG teams and early snipers is very key. It allows you to take out sort of like if if they've garrisoned MGs or snipers in buildings, it allows you to take those out. It's just a good thing in general. For example, you don't, as double Americans in 2v2, you really don't need both people to start out with barracks. I mean, riflemen, you don't want to just swarm the map with riflemen. I mean, those riflemen eventually aren't going to be effective if if they've set out their MG bunker. Your riflemen aren't really going to be effective. You don't want to have excess riflemen just doing nothing. You want to have one person being able to build snipers and MGs and mortars, and that really helps. So just a little thing about here, the Panzer Elite player. Gabe was going to talk about him. He fails completely with this infantry rush to the north.
Alright, so, this Panzer Elite player, is really persistent on having his beloved Panzer Grenadiers be effective this match. I mean, he really feels as though they're really good units. They are. But he kind of likes them too much. And I know exactly how this guy feels, because this happens to me all the time, where I find a unit I really like, it works one match, and then I try it again, it doesn't work, but I'm really persistent on having it work. Now, this is like in Modern Warfare 2, if I can make a, analogy. This is like trying to get payback on that one camper, and you just go and go and go and try and try and try, and you need to kill him, but you just keep on dying. I don't know about me, but that happens to me sometimes. Maybe because I'm a noob. But anyway, yeah. So so you right now in that situation, he needed to play by my rules, or in Carl's rules, me and Carl's rules, because he needs to change his play style right there. All right, because we were dominating that little encounter, and he needed to change. Maybe mortar half track might have been great there. Other things like that. But that Panzer rush was not going to work unless it was at farther distance. All right, no, don't ever want to get up to some flamethrowers while you're suppressed. All right.
Okay, so as you can see, the middle is he's holding the middle. I have a mortar team now, as you can see. But even though this mortar team eventually does destroy the bunker, he has pioneers which just build a new bunker. And you can see him taking out the pioneers right there. I mean, he retreats those guys, and they build a new bunker after this one dies. Yep, dies right there, gets some experience, and yeah, he's going to build a new bunker. Just keep holding down the middle. It's a real problem for us this game. Holding down the middle was probably the best thing the enemy did this game. So here you can see my sniper just sort of hanging out. I'm actually waiting. I'm going to see him sniping these guys right here. He is obviously, going for my mortar with all these Panzer Grenadiers. But, it's just not going to work, as you'll see.
This is a bloody little encounter right here, and it's kind of fun to watch. But he made the mistake of charging. And the thing that was the illusion that was made by him charging in like that was that I had one rifleman squad and he had 4 Panzer Grenadier squads. That obviously you saw there. It didn't work because BARs are. I did the suppression thing, and I had some flamethrowers, and BARs just took them all out. Now BARs are great, but the mistake I see people make the most with BARs is you never want to upgrade BARs before you get a motor pool or a tank depot for armored cars, because early game armored cars can win you the game. Early game BARs can get you closer to winning the game, not necessarily make you win the game. Alright.
Okay, so if you watch there that little encounter, by that tree that's sort of in the center of the screen now, the big one, right by that tree, my sniper died there. I microed my sniper pretty poorly. I've built a new one, but my previous sniper, which had veterancy, one rank of veterancy, it died pretty easily. I wasn't really paying attention to it at that moment. I did not retreat it from those close-range Volks Grenadiers. I think they had MP40s, but yeah. One thing about snipers, keep your snipers protected. Snipers, the key about snipers is they're a very long-range unit, of course, but you want to keep them stealth. You never want the enemy to see where you have snipers. You want to move your snipers constantly around the map to keep different points to take out the enemy at a long range. It's good to keep your sniper idle like I am right now. I'm not moving him. But, you can always have your snipers hold fire and have them just scout in enemy territory, which is a good tactic. I mean, killing a sniper gives